To most people, the month of March is the time when the seasons are changing, when the gray of winter starts to get a little greener. But to some, March is also green for another reason: the celebration of Irish heritage. Since 1991, March has been officially declared Irish American Heritage Month, partly because St. Patrick's Day falls on March 17th, but also because the Irish tell us a story of strength and endurance worth remembering. I'm Stephanie Kratz. Join me as we head down to one of Westminster's local hotspots for Irish flavor, O'Lourdon's Irish Pub.
Once upon a time there was Irish ways and Irish laws, villages of Irish blood, waken to the morning, waken to the morning. Then the Vikings came around, turned us up and turned us down, started building boats and towns. They tried to change our living. They tried to change our living. Cromwell and his soldiers came, started centuries of shame, but they could not make us turn. We are a river flowing. We're a river flowing. Again the soldiers came, burned our houses, stole our grain. They shot the farmers in their fields, working for a living, working for a living. 800 years we have been.
Why did you decide to go with this Irish O'Lourdon's family theme?
Well, when we got involved with Johansson's, we read a lot of restaurant magazines, and I have a lot of friends of mine in the business, and we thought that it would be a great idea for a brewery at Johansson's. We were the first one in Carroll County, so Irish pubs became popular, and we came up with the idea that possibly we should open an Irish pub. But every place we looked at had no character. And this particular building came available, and my wife said, this is it. This is the building. They guess that the building is around 1860 something, but it was also a dairy, which homogenized milk. It was a barber shop. It was a butcher shop, several different restaurants, and this upstairs here was actually a dance hall for USO when the soldiers were going over the Second World War. And the last use before we got involved in it was a small restaurant called Bees Restaurant, which everybody in Carroll County knows of Bees Restaurant because they serve the greatest breakfast. When we finally did consummate the deal, we went over to Ireland for a week, picked out a lot of the furniture, got a lot of great ideas, and this is what we created, O'Lourdon's Irish Pub.
Okay, and the name O'Lourdon came from
That is my wife's mother's great-grandmother, and it was actually Lourdon from County Cork, and we Americanized it by putting O'Lourdon's on it. Kind of rolls off the tongue a little easier.
So when you come into this building each time, does it remind you of Ireland, of when you were over there?
Absolutely. You know, we put the wood-burning fireplace, the bluestone floors. What I think really makes it very cool is we were lucky to have a painter that actually was very familiar with Ireland and the history of Ireland. So between my wife and her, Nancy Vibrance, We came up with the color scheme and some of the decorative ornaments on the walls.
Can you tell me something about what these trees are in this room, or is that just?
Actually, that's, the artist came up with that. It's different names of different counties. You see that in a lot of different Irish pubs, and she did a wonderful job.
Well, what do you want your customers to feel or to experience when they come into a Lordan's?
We want them to think that they are taking a little trip through Ireland.
Like as a young kid, my parents would like rent a house down in the west of Ireland for the summer, and we'd just go to other people's houses and there'd be storytelling and singing and music and songs. So I've always had a fondness for Irish traditional music.
By 1776, some 300,000 Irish citizens had immigrated to the United States. Many of these courageous individuals played crucial roles in America's war for independence. Indeed, 9 men who signed the Declaration of Independence were of Irish origin.
Good pick, Stephen.
After work. Best time for a pint.
All right, I'm here with the bar manager, Paul, also known as Paulie, right?
Well, some people call me that.
Some people call you
Even though I'm
Paulie.
Irish and not Italian.
Okay, well, what drew you to O'Lordan's? Why did you come to O'Lordan's?
How I ended up here was actually Dave Johansen contacted me. And after sitting down and talking with him for a couple of hours, it was actually about a 2.5-hour interview I had with him. Then he offered me the manager's position here at the restaurant. So I've been here now 7 years.
7 years, okay. And what's kept you here for 7 years?
It's fun, I enjoy it. I enjoy bartending. I mean, what more can you ask for than an office this size with all the windows that I got? You know, and it's nice meeting people. I've really enjoyed bartending. I'm doing it quite a while. So I'm actually from Derry City in Northern Ireland, up in the northwest. It's 75 miles west of Belfast.
What's that hometown like?
It's probably, for here, I would guesstimate it's an approximation, maybe a little bit bigger than Frederick. I mean, population is probably around 180 to 200,000 people. It's quite a large city. It's got the old stone walls, pretty much like the outside of the exterior of this building. The old walls from the siege of Derry, which is way back in somewhere in the 1300s. It's an old city.
So why did you come to America?
I've been coming here since I was 15 years old. I've traveled extensively. I've spent time in Holland and various other places. And I just seen it as a better opportunity at the time. It was the right move for me.
As far as authenticity, how do you think that this pairs up to bars in Ireland?
For this bar, I think Dave and Wendy have done a really good job on it. They went to Ireland twice visiting. Primarily, they look at different premises over there and they try and make it as authentic as possible. And I think they've done a really good job of that.
And we're told that, Guinnesses here taste different than anywhere else in Maryland, or at least in Carroll County. So why is that?
The secret to Guinness is it's got to be poured the right way. There's only one way to pour a Guinness, and that's the right way. All right, typically if you look at a Guinness glass, it always has the Harp logo on it. This is where we start. We hold the glass at a 45 degree and open the gate, as they say. Open the top all the way up. Maintain the tilt. And you never let the spout touch the beer. And that will be stage one. And we let the beer settle. And then we just got to top it off. And to do that, we push it away from us. Now you have your complete Guinness.
What's your favorite Irish tradition?
Tradition-wise, I love the music. I mean, my family's got a lot of history in music. You know, my great uncle played the violin for years. I love the culture, I love the people. And it's a nice place to visit. Anybody ever gets an opportunity, I really recommend to go. And don't be afraid to go to Derry City. It's safe to say that the guys in the kitchen here have done a really good job. John has done a really good job in prepping the menu and setting up the Irish flair that they have to it. It's definitely authentic. And the atmosphere here is pretty typical of what you're going to find in an Irish pub in Ireland. A little bit more relaxed, a little laid back. A lot of conversation between the people, a lot of people making friends and enjoying a good pint.
My family is from Czechoslovakia and Sweden, so I've been around Europeans most of my life, and we embrace anybody who comes from the old country, because just about everybody comes from the old country. As far as heritage goes, it's neat for people that come from a different country have the opportunity to come into a place like this, and they feel comfortable with it because that's where they come from. So as long as they feel that, that makes us happy.